everyone, today I've come on to do a little tutorial on how to make specimen cards. I mean, really, you can make them however you want, but I know people, personally, I like ones that are sort of this sort of shape, but I like this bit at the bottom filled in. So you can get them die cut like this. This is from a die cut that I have, or from a die that I have, and I've cut it out of that. You can also get them like this, where you, I mean, I don't understand how you, I think the idea is that you trap your piece of paper or whatever you're going to have in there for your back, you know, to stick your specimen onto. I think you trap it in between those two. So this one I made when I was doing Foraging Fortnight in the group Obsessed and Distressed Journaling. So all it is a bit of tea stained paper, and then I cut a hole in it with my hole punch, and this on the back is actually a tea bag, and the prompt was tea bag, so that's why I used a tea bag for that. And doesn't it look good? And then I just cut out some little things and glued them on, and that filled the prompt and looked pretty as well, and I stuck a sticker on it. Then there's ones like this. The idea is you cut the white part out and then you fold it in, I mean, I assume you fold it in half. I don't know, it doesn't work if you do that, does it? I think you put your specimen on here and then you do your things on the bottom there, so it would be a long one. You can get ones like this. This is a tag, and it's a similar kind of layout to a specimen card. You can say it says destination unknown, telegram, you know, it's sort of a, you could make a specimen card in that shape is what I'm trying to say. You can put anything you like on them. This is a rectangular one and it's got a seal on it. You can do little tiny ones like this. It says botanical study, water plantain, and there's a picture there, look, and it says habitat collected on and the date there. You can do a bird ones, you can do dragonfly ones, you can do round ones, another little tiny one there. I've got, these are just little bits of bits from my scrap box that I'm going to use to make some. Then we've got ones like this, a great big one which you could decorate the back or just ink it and use it as a journaling card. And then there are these ones fold in half, they have a fold line. So I'm assuming with these ones you'd cut this part out and trap in between it whatever you wanted on there. So if you wanted a bit of linen, if you wanted, you can use just similar to the tea bag, I guess. You could use some greaseproof paper or baking paper. I like to use this like Perspex, and I save it when I get any on any box or anything, like I collect dolls as well, so every time I get a doll that's in a box and it's got the Perspex on it, I save it to use for this. So I've got that, and I make ATCs, and you get these little packets to put your ATCs in, and they are ideal, I find. You just glue it, you would just glue it into there and then trim it, you know, trim it to the size you wanted, glue it into there, stick your specimen on there, and then you could, I've got some little bits cut out here ready. You could put maybe number 61 there, you could maybe put a little brad through there, or a, what do you call them, brads, and oh, the things with a hole in them, you know, that you need your crocodile for. You'd make a hole, put the ring through, and then you could put one there. You could put one there and there if you wanted. And you could also put field notes on it just there, you know, just decorate it up until you're happy with it. Collection record, I've cut out lots of these little bits to show you. Then I've got this one here. Don't worry if it goes over the picture a bit, it doesn't matter, does it? As long as it doesn't cover your specimen. So number, specimen found, and then it's got number 61 on there. Well, actually on there we ought to have like a name of something. And if you don't have these little bits, look up on free printables, you often find these, and yeah, just save them, and then you've got them when you want them, or you can just write with your pen. So yeah, so let's get started. We're going to make a few of these. So I've got my cutting board and my scalpel, I've got scissors, I've got a pen, I've got some lace if I wanted to use lace for decoration, I've got my crocodile and some, whatever you want to call those. I think, I don't know what you call them, I've never known the name of them if I'm honest. I've got a few others here and a few bits of card and things we could use to make some with. You can actually get blank specimens like this, look. And that's quite a big one, but wouldn't that make a nice sized journaling card? So we'll try and make that one. You can have a long thin one like that. This bit up here is not in the right place, it didn't print right, but it's just to show you could have a long thin one if you wanted to. This is how it should have printed. Then I've got ones in this size, which I'm just going to cut a hole in or stick a square of paper on. I've got a thick embossed one there, which will look nice, and then I've just got some craft card, which is probably my favourite. And then I've got this is a ATC card, and I'm going to make an ATC card into a specimen card. Yeah, so lots to do. So to start with, putting the thing on the back. Now, as I say, I don't understand why this has got this hole in it, and I don't like that hole in it. So what I do is cover that hole up. I might use a bit of this actually, see if it's wide enough. Yeah, that's wide enough. I'll just glue that onto the back of there like that, and then we can cut it, can't we, down to size. I don't know why, I don't understand it, I'm sorry, it's just me being a twit probably, but I just don't understand why they do that. I don't, it seems crazy to me. I like the look of these, and I like them better when they haven't got this hole at the bottom. Don't think I've actually got a thing to, but I can, you know, I'll show you how I make mine. I do love specimen cards, so, and as I say, there's no real rules to them as far as I know. Just, you know, just make what you want, as long as you haven't just stuck a sticker onto a lump of card and posted it in a swap. You know, make a bit of an effort and try and make it look nice. So I'm going to glue that onto there like that. There we go, and then I'm going to get my little scissors and cut that off. See, that looks so much nicer, and I don't know why you would do it. Where are you going to put your specimen details, where it's from, what it is, and that? There's nowhere to put it, is there? You'd have to put little tags on it, I guess, with it on. I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, well, we're going to do these today. I'm going to make a load, show you how to do them. You can choose which one you like best, and then if you want to join in the specimen card swap, you're equipped to do so. So there's that one. So it's up to you. I mean, you could just put perspex across the bottom and write on that if you want to. That, you know, there's nothing to stop you doing that. It's just not my preference. It's not what I like. So, and then I'm going to put my perspex, which is my ATC card, which actually will fit across there really nicely, won't it? So let's put some more glue down. I'm getting to the bottom of my glue now. I've been meaning to make this video, wanting to make it. I said to Carla, from Carla Creates, that I was going to make one, and I just haven't. I've been so ill. It's the most ill I've been in a long time. I had a virus that my husband had caught, and of course I catch everything. Although, having said that, I haven't been ill in a long time. And then when I did get ill, I did it in a spectacular fashion. And I've been sort of out of action for 2 weeks, because after I'd recovered, which I still don't think I've fully recovered from the virus, next thing I do is I go and get a sinus infection. So on Monday I was still denying the fact that I'd got a sinus infection, so I went to my appointment at Queen's Medical Centre, and I saw the very nice anaesthetist there who has agreed to do some injections for me, some spinal injections, because I just cannot get them in my area, and I've just used my little cutter to recut those holes that I'd covered up. Anyway, and I also asked him if he would write me a letter, sort of, I needed a second opinion from him or someone of his, you know, standing, so that I could get or apply for funding for breast reduction, which I've needed really for 30 years. I'm not kidding. Every doctor that's seen me in the last 30 years, the first thing they have said is, you need a breast reduction. But no one has ever actually put me forward for one until now. And it is the surgeon who did my surgery, that's who put me forward for this breast reduction. But they want now a second opinion. They asked me to ask this doctor if he would give me that second opinion. He said no, because he didn't feel that he was qualified. I mean, which is perfectly fine, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just now worried sick that I'm not going to find anyone to give me a second opinion, and I'm not going to get the funding for this much needed breast reduction. But hey ho, that was the result of the Monday visit. And then on Tuesday morning I felt so ill that I rang the doctors very early in the morning and got an appointment at 8:45. And when I walked in, he said, well, you sound all blocked and bunged up, and he had a listen to my chest and everything, and said that was okay. And he put me on antibiotics and a steroid nasal spray, which I've never had before. But anyway, that's what he gave me, so that's what I'm using. I took the antibiotics straight away, and it honestly took me all my time not to vomit. I really did. I was stood up taking deep breaths. I said to my husband, get me some icy water, and he did do. And I had some ice cold water, and I was fine. I didn't vomit, thank goodness. Anyway, yeah, enough of that. So just so you know why I'm ill. Anyway, today I'm feeling better, but I just feel absolutely exhausted, and I haven't got any energy at all. And this is what happens to me when I go on antibiotics. So I'm thinking that, you know, once they kick in and have gotten rid of this infection for me, I shall feel a lot better. Please pray for me. So yeah, so I've popped on this little sticker, which is a what do you call them when they haven't got any white on them? A pet sticker. So it's a pet sticker. It has no white on the background, and it's flowers. You can use whatever you want, I've got little things here with birds on. This says specimen number. That will go nicely, won't it? I'll pop that on there like that, and then I'm going to put, I want a longer one just here, if I can find like a number or something. Oh no, it's got a number on it. Right, I've got butterfly, dragonfly, specimen, number. I'm sure some of these are from Create with Scrimping Mummy, I think. Some of the ones that I've cut out, the birds and the butterflies, and not the birds, but that dragonfly I'm sure is, and this butterfly as well I think is. So yeah, I've got lots of bits to be going on with, but I really wanted a long one to go there. So let me see, or I could just write on there, you know, found such and such, collected on this date, or, you know, I could put field notes there, look. And I do have a couple of sheets of, if I get stuck, I do have a couple of sheets of like this. Collected Paris, France, location Amazon rainforest. I might go with that Amazon rainforest one because I can always cut it down a bit smaller. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the location Amazon rainforest just there like that, and then I'm going to pop that over the top, specimen found, with the number on it, and then this is the date. So you really, if you want to, you really need what it is, where you found it, and the date, or number where you found it and the date. Yeah, I haven't got what it is, but I could make anything up for that, couldn't I? Amazon rose, or, you know. So yeah, I'm going to glue those down, and we shall have one specimen card finished. You don't have to make yours as busy as that if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. I may even add a little bit of lace to the bottom of this one. I like mine to be busy. I like them to be busy. I even might put a brad on one, you know, on one, or like I say, I like putting the little holy things that I don't know what they're called. I call them brads, but I call everything brads. They're not the ones with the wings on. It's just a hole that you use, you know, use a tool to set them. Made a bit of a pig's ear of that because I should have put that on top of that, but if I don't glue it now, the glue will dry and I'll have made a right pig's ear of it. Right, so then we're going to put this one on. I could actually just have done it with my glue stick really, but I'm wanting to use up this glue so I can start on a new bottle. I have got coming a new metal tip for it because I broke my last one. It fell off the side and snapped the actual, this bit that it fitted onto, the spout bit, it's broke off completely. I couldn't fix it. And yeah, I've ordered a new one, but it's not here. It's taken ages to come because they posted it on the 2nd and today's the 8th, so normally it shouldn't take that long, but still it is doing. And then I'm going to put that other one on top of. There's no rules really, it's up to you. If you're in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, you'd write it on there with a pen, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have time to faff about cutting bits out and that, but yeah. So you could go round it with your, let's do that, showing you the different things you can do. So you could go round it with a dark, because it's card, maybe I ought to have done that before I started, you know, making it, but anyway I didn't, so we're going to do it like this. There we go. So that's that, and then I was thinking I might put a bit of lace across the bottom. It's purely optional, no one has to do that. There's also a little ruler there, could use the ruler to show the size of the flower. There's a little bit of faux lace on there even. I can't remember where these come from. They were free printables and I've sort of cropped and pasted them so I got the different, you know, different things on there. So let's put some real lace on there. Here we are. Oh yeah, that's really going to look nice, isn't it? I'm going to put it behind like that so that it, I think anyway, I did it look better like that. It actually looked better like that, didn't it? Yeah, I'm going to put it on the front then. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that so much. So let's glue it across here, just across the bottom of there. Like I say, you could use your glue stick for this. You could use double-sided tape. Yeah, anything you've got, just use what you've got really. I'm trying to, at the moment, use up what I've got and not not be buying new things. Yeah. And my husband hears me say that out loud, he'll hold me to it, so. There we go. So that's one done. And this little bit here, if you wanted to, you could like put it on one of those big ring holders, so you've got all your specimens in one place. Yeah, love that, love it. So that's that one done. And then let's do this one next, shall we? I don't think that's going to fit in there, is it? I think it's going to be too... I don't think it's going to be... Oh, no, it will fit. Oh, wow. Right, let's glue that in there then. Yeah, these are the ones I like this, but I'd like a bit bigger bit at the bottom, if you see what I mean. There's not enough room at the bottom on this one for me. I actually thought I had a video on making these, but I cannot find it. I haven't got one, I don't think. So yeah, these are, I always call them specimen cards, so I haven't made a video on them before, so I hope this will be helpful to someone. So if you're just happy with making the first one, if you've got some die cuts, or you can just cut the paper out of, cut the shape. I'll show you how to cut the shape out in a minute. We'll do that one next, and then if you know, if you've had enough and you want to get off and do your ironing, you can do. You don't have to sit here all day watching me do it then. So round here, and then I've missed a little bit there. I do like it when they're in pretty colours as well, but that last one I did, oh, I love that. I love it. So I'm going to go like this. I love this. I don't understand why that's there like that. Maybe it needs to be the other way round, does it? No, because now the sides are showing. Yeah, it don't make any sense to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I might stick something over there like a label or something. Let's see what I'm going to put on here. So we've had a flower, so we could have a bird this time. Or I've even found this, look, when I was looking through my stickers, I found that piece of orange. I thought, well, that would look good, wouldn't it? Just trimmed, cut out and stuck on there. I might do that actually. Let's try that. It would look good in a kitchen, or wouldn't it, a kitchen journal, or even a little recipe book, wouldn't it? You could write a little recipe and stick it on the back or something. Yeah, I do imagine I could have trapped this between the two pieces of cellophane, but of course I imagined it and then I completely forgot about it, and yeah. No, we're just going to do it this way. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm going to cover that bottom bit up. I don't understand why it's like that. Why would you do that? Crazy, absolutely crazy. Still, there we go. And that is from the die cut. Yeah, I know you can get other die cuts. I've seen them, and I may even have some somewhere. It's just rooting about to find them. It's not, you know, I'm not in any state of health to be doing that really. So I could put authentic just there. Hold on, this is bugging me. This is, I can't look at this. And with a die cut, it's not like you can cut it out wrong. You know, I haven't glued it wrong. That's how it should be glued. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to stick something all the way over there like this, but obviously not ornithology. I'm going to stick something over it like that. Yeah. So not ornithology. I could have specimen, couldn't I? So I've got specimen. I could put that there. And then I could have the authentic. That could even go up there, couldn't it? Authentic specimen. A.A. Binac. Right, anyway, yeah, I'm going to do that, I think, with that one. So that one was, you know, it's a you can do it as simply as that. You don't have to go all out, and if you don't want to, but it's entirely up to you. It's yours, so do it how you want it and how you like it. Oh, I've got a collected, I like that. Will it cover up that white though? No, not quite, will it? I've got a few like that, but I can't. Oh, that one says Specimen. Can we get, oh, that one would cover it. Oh, let's use that one. It looks prettier, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's use that one then. And these are just, like I say, these are free printables I've found that I've just cut out. And I've cut them out at different sizes. You know, some I've done 1 to a page, some I've done 2 to a page. And yeah, I've been sat here this afternoon cutting them out, ready to come on and get this done, because I am going to do a tag swap in the Junk Journal Fairies group. So if you wanted to join in that, I want you to be equipped to do it, and this is going to be the video I use to show you how to do it. So I'm going to put that lace on the back this time, because otherwise it'll cover up the word. There we go. And I've even done things like stuck little buttons on them, and as I say, I've used brads. There we are. Look at that, cute. I like that. So that's 2, that's those 2. And now we're going to do the how to make one by cutting a hole into, so this is an ATC card, and this is, it needs to be 3.5 inches perfectly, it is, by 2.5 inches. It's a little bit wide actually, isn't it? Let's have a look. It is a little bit wide, so I'm going to cut a tiny bit off this side. I actually like them to be the right size. I've had a few, sent a few cards that haven't been the right size, and they were for swaps in the group, so our lovely swap leader did point it out to me, which of course he should do, and yes, I'm now more careful. So this is a heat embossed background that I've got. And what I want is to have I'm going to do a square at the top, and then I'm going to, at the bottom here, I'm going to put my writing. And I'm going to make a few cards. I'm not doing it now. I'm going to make a few cards to use, to swap in my group. It's not my group. It's ATC UK, I think. Yeah. Something like that, but they do, like, the man that runs it, Stuart, is amazing, and he does a lot of he arranges swaps. You can do a 6-card swap, or sometimes if you do the melee you can do a 30-card swap, or else you can just swap with other members of the group. You can put up what cards you've got for trade, and someone will come along and say, oh, can I swap that one? And you can go and look at what cards they've got, and if they then have a card that you want, there you go, you just swap. And I like to swap at least 2, so yeah. So on the back of this one, I'm going to put some of this greaseproof paper, like that. I could do that actually. If this will fit, I'm going to put this on, because this is lovely. I love that. Maybe it's a bit too busy for this page. What do you think? I guess it would depend on what I put on it, wouldn't it? Let's try one of those butterflies. No, it's too busy, the background, isn't it? I love it though. Do love it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some music page that I cut out. I'm going to use a bit of that as my background. I've got it printed out. I'm sure it's from a set that I had, that either it is free or I've bought, but it is a set, and it is literally just music paper. These are different backgrounds that you can use for your thing. So I'm thinking, if I do it like that, yes, that's going to work a treat, isn't it? So let's do that. I just need to cut a bit off. How far across do I need to go? Can I get that prettiness in? I need to go about here, I think. And then yeah, and I can just trim it. Down like that, and then what I can do is I can put my ATC information on the bottom at the back there, or else I can cover the whole of it and then write on it, can't I? So I'm going to put that on. I think I'm going to move on to my glue stick, if I'm honest. Let me find my glue pin, which I've lost. Here it is. This was made for me by my lovely friend Zoe, and I love it to pieces. I use it all the time. And I've actually got a silver earring wire on it, and it stops it from going rusty. So yeah, that's my glue sorted. And then I'm going to just put, I'm going to use my glue stick now, because it's easier. So let's put some glue on there. So it doesn't have to be this size for you to make one. There's no specific size for your specimen cards, but if you're making an ATC card, it does have to be 2.5 by 3.5, which is why I'm making sure it is, because that's what I'm going to do, is make some ATC cards. Another thing I could have done is just glued a square of in this sort of style. I could have just glued a square onto there, cut down there, put my details there, glued my specimen onto there, couldn't I? I could have done that. So this time I've done it with this, because this is heat embossed card and I love it, and I want to use that background. So I don't think there's going to be any room for lace on here though, is there? It's going to be a bit too, yeah, I could do with it being a bit shorter really, come to the specimen card, but I don't want to, I can't make it shorter because it's for a ATC. So if I wanted to, I could round the corners though, couldn't I? Where's my little corner rounder? Let's do a small corner round on it. Well, we will if I can actually get it in there. Ooh. Yeah. One. Oh yeah, that looks good. It is quite a thick card, because I've stuck my heat embossed card on top of some craft paper, and then I've put white paper on the back so that it can be, well, I mean, you can write on craft paper, but the bottom ones, for some reason, I think because the bottom ones haven't got glue on them and they haven't got that backing on, have gone easier. That one I'm going to have to trim with my scissors because it's gone through the front part of the card and not the back. Like I said, it is quite a thick card, this one is. So we've done that. So I've showed you how to cut the piece out. You could measure it if you want to and do it. I just eyeballed it because I'm thinking, well, it probably makes it look a bit more authentic if you do that. I've got lots of things I can put on here. I've got these very odd looking specimens. I love those. And they're pet stickers, so I could stick them on anything. I can't stick it on there because it'd be too big, but I'm thinking I could use it on this one. I'm going to use it on there like that. I love it. So yeah, what shall we have on this one? I could have a bird. A little bird would be nice, wouldn't it? Now when I fussy cut out my birds, butterflies, dragonflies, anything like that that has antennae or little spindly legs, I cut them off because there's no point in trying to cut them out. In my case, there's no point in trying to cut them out because I just make such a pig's ear of it that yeah, it doesn't work because I've got fingers like sausages. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll redraw the little feet on once I've got the bird glued where I want it, or once I've decided if I'm actually having a bird. Or so let's see, that I've got a really pretty yellow bird here, which I think I'm not going to even guess because you'll think I'm an idiot because I don't know my birds. I'd say a yellow hammer, but no, it's not a yellow hammer, it's yellow. Right, so we've got that there, and then I've got quite a few of these. Ornithology, the study of birds, that says, you know, quite a few with bird bits on them. So I've got number, discover, just there with a little bird on it, and then I've got that says field collection, which means it was one that was caught out in the wild and not one that, you know, somebody's brought into the museum, I imagine. Yeah, that I'm not keen on that there. Maybe it could go up there, maybe. Yeah, I like the idea of that. And then, what else can we do? Shall we try the lace again? I'm obsessed with having a bit of lace on it. What do we think now? Well, that does look quite nice, doesn't it? And what I am going to do is put a hole in it and show you what I'm on about when I'm talking about my holes. So I've got a number there, I've got discovery there, and then I'm going to put a bit of lace at the bottom. I'm going to have field collection there. I need to draw his little legs back on, and I'm going to make a hole there. So let's get stuff glued on first. I'm just about out of this glue. It's not my favourite. I like Scotch Create, but Scotch Create has nearly doubled in price, and it is as good as Scotch. Well, it's not as good as Scotch Create, otherwise I wouldn't be moaning. Scotch Create doesn't leave this gloopy, you know, you put the glue on and it stays just glued. You don't get lots of gloop with your glue. Like, can you see with this one, there's lots of gloop here, look. You don't get that with Scotch Create. Pritt Stick is the same. In fact, it's probably worse, in my opinion. You know, I could be, you might not agree with me. Just, you know, whatever works best for you. But yeah, you can see it leaves a lot of gloop, whereas the Scotch Create does not. And yeah, my second favourite then is the Yoo-Hoo one. So let's put the little bird on. Yeah, I don't like when there's all gloopy glue everywhere. Of course you want it to be sticky, but not to the point where you can't write anything near it or anything because it's too covered in glue. Gooey, gooey glue. Right, let me get a dry wipe. See, it's still not coming off. Like, there's a great lump of glue on there. That's better. And then we'll do the field. I'll leave that there in case I need it again. Have I already stuck that on? I have. I didn't know I'd already stuck that on, you know. Yeah, and it does, you can see it sticks well, doesn't it? The Pritt Stick does. I'm not the Yoo-Hoo does. I shouldn't be complaining, really. But it is just a little bit more gloopy than I prefer. Of course, the hot weather we're having doesn't help at all. Right, let me see if I can, I mean, I'm going to make a complete pig's ear of this and it's going to look like it's got some leg trouble, but anyway, I'll do my best. Yeah, as I say, it looks like he's got some severe leg trouble. Anyway, it don't matter, does it? You can probably draw a lot better than I can, so yours will be nicer than mine. Right, so I want something for the corner. and I want something. I'm going to use one of these ones because I know these ones will work. And then I've got, so the first thing you do when you're doing these eyelets, the word comes to me now, is you make a hole. I've got a crocodile which has a choice of 2 holes, and for this size one I'll need the bigger of the 2. So I'm going to choose where I want my hole. I'm going to just make it like this. Wait, I bet it won't go through. We'll see. Oh no, it has gone through. Look, there's my lovely hole. I'll poke the bit of card out. There we go. And then this part here is the part that you put your eyelet on. There is a little diagram on the side, and let me tell you, I've used that a few times. And then we put the card through there, and then that's not going to work, is it? I wanted to put that bit on the back, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I'll try anyway. Oh, I've got it on. Right, and then you just push it. That's it. That's it. It just looks more, I don't know. I just think it looks better if you've got one of them on. Sometimes it does, doesn't it? So, do we put that, or do I find out what kind of bird it is and write that across the bottom? That would probably be the best thing, wouldn't it? Yeah. No, I can't do that because my phone's up there. Yeah, we'll go with the lace, shall we? Yeah, let's put some lace on it. And for the lace, I am going to have to use my my AG. I've got far more than I need there, but there we go. I'll dry a bit of it off, I think. There we go. That's better. And we'll stick that on there. That art glitter glue dries brilliant. Yeah, I love it, but yeah, I can't seem to find, well, because I broke the metal tip. Trust me to break the metal. Look at the state of that now. I'm going to have to cover that up. That is just glue. It's nothing disgusting. It is just glue, but I'm going to have to cover the whole of that back now just to cover that flipping horrible glue off it. And it's because I laid it on there because I'm a twerp, that's why. I should have laid it on my nice clean silicone mat, shouldn't I? That I've just cleaned for the purpose. So then I'll cover the back of that with a piece of paper. I have lots of bits of, I keep little bits of white paper scraps, and I'm going to just glue that onto there like that and trim around it. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to do it with my Yoo-hoo. Which is running out, this one is, so I have got another one, don't worry. Don't worry, I've got another one. So this is my ATC ready to go in the ATC group to see if anyone is interested, and if they like it I might make a few more. This is the trouble with me. I can't just make one. I've got to make, you know, 50. Or no, 15 is probably nearer to what I make, not 20, not 50. Yeah, 15 is nearer to what I would make. So glue that onto there. And do not put it on gluey paper again. And then if you wanted to, you could make a little dangle and put it through the hole. Yeah, you can decorate it as much or as little as you like. It's, you know. I'm sure someone will tell me what sort of bird this is. I'm sure I don't know. Some kind of, I don't know if it's even a European bird. We do get birds of that colour, they're called yellow hammers, and then we get green finches, we get blue tits, we get wagtail tits, which are black and white. Wagtails are lovely, I love wagtails. Blue tits, I love robins with their red breasts. We do get some very colourful birds. So yes, so now all I need to do is to, I'm just going to do it with my scissors, I think, just make a little hole there. So that if I did decide to put a bulb pin and a thing through there, it would be fit to do it. So here is a bulb pin, and what I would do is put a little bit of something on there and then stick that through there. So if I found out what bird it was, I might print it out onto a piece of paper and have that dangling down like that with the bird's name on it. Do you see? That's probably what I would do. Otherwise it could be put, as I say, on one of those round things. Yeah, you know what I mean, don't you? Honestly, I'm hopeless, aren't I? Anyway, that's that one done, and that one is going to go into the ATC group, see if anyone wants to swap it with me. So that's 3 done. And then I've got this nice big one here, and I'm wondering if one of my fabulous thingies, we're going to call them fabulous thingies. Yeah, that's too, the background is too much, isn't it? It needs to be on a white background really, and I need to really cut the flowers off the bottom, I think. So I'm going to just, I love pet tape stickers because you haven't got to cut things off them. You can just leave them on because they've got a clear background. You haven't got to cut the clear background off them. So I think what I'm going to do is get a square of paper to put at the top there, and I've got some white paper here, look. I'm going to, oh, let's see, I've got that there, that's the music paper again, isn't it? And it would definitely work on the music paper. Yeah, but it would need to be bigger, and I do have some more music paper here. Or I've got, oh, this might work better, might it? Let's try some of that. We'll try something, I'm trying to try something different to what I had a minute ago. So, I'm cutting it bigger than I need it because I'd rather cut it too big and be able to cut it to size than cut it too small. And right, so I think the best thing to do is to put the butterfly on it, the whatever it is on it, and then cut the paper to match that. So yeah, I'm thinking I need a bit of a border, and then a bit of a, not too much of a border at the top and bottom as well, so we can cut that off there. There we go, look. Glue that onto that. I'm going to round the corners, which will round nicely because it's just a piece of, it actually rounds nicer if the card is thicker but not so thick that it won't go in. This is card, but it's not ever so thick card. So then I'm going to glue that onto there. I'm doing it again, look. Let's put that down here. We'll do the gluing on here. Right, hold on. No, that's not going to work, is it? Because I don't want the front of that getting covered in glue either. So we'll do this. I'm loving these stickers and I want to use them, so we're going to do a few of them. I've got a few they'll fit on, I think. So we'll stick the little square on. I do think the rounded corners make a difference, don't they? Yeah, they do. And then, oh, big lump of glue there. I'm going to get a new glue stick out as well. So we'll stick the butterfly on. So this is more of a journaling card, isn't it, than a it can be used as a journaling card once you've turned it into your specimen card. So, and this would also work on a tag or on a, well, it'd work on any size piece of card, wouldn't it, as long as the card was big enough to fit your specimen on it. I've gone too far that way now, but I can't get it off either. Oh dear, such a twerp, honestly. Not to worry, it's a specimen, we've got it on there. Right, so I really like the look of, I like all of the busyness on there. So I want to do something similar on here. Obviously it's a different shape and everything, but what I could do is I could have a word down here. If I had I mean, I have got a stamp, it's just finding it at this precise moment. I could have specimen found just here, like they've got that one, although that one could do with being bigger really, couldn't it? Oh, I got a bigger one. Let me see. And then I'm thinking something across the bottom, like just specimen would do, wouldn't it? So specimen collected. Yeah, that really does need to be either more in the middle or bigger, doesn't it? Right, let's try another one. So I'm going to put that one there, that one there, and that one there. Yes, and it's going to be a little journaling card. Perfect to just pop in, you know, if you're doing a gardening journal, if you're doing a botanical one, if you're doing a strange things one. I found some stamps. Don't think this one's going to be any good really, but like this little splash, or you could do some, oh, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Do a little bit of splatter of ink on it. Right, first of all, let's get these bits glued on. So, got my new glue stick. They've changed how they do these, and when they changed it, I spent that much time trying to take this bit off, and actually it wasn't that bit, it was the other bit. Yeah, I should also allow for the weather, shouldn't I? Not helping with the glue, making it more gloopy, but yeah, it always has been, even through the winter it was like that. So, right, I'm just going to see if I can find a different word to that specimen that I like better, because I'm not keen on the colour of that, I'm afraid. I have a plan. Get my little daubers out. Get one that's a greeny colour, which that's too dark a green, so I'll go with this one. And what I'm going to do is just make it green. And it is frayed burlap, this colour. It's one of the little tiny ones. I was very lucky to get a set of them on Vinted, a couple of years ago now. And yeah, they do come in very handy. And yeah, it does match really well now. Haha, we did it. So there's that. Do you know, that glue is not gloopy. I think it's because it's been in a cool drawer. Yeah, it's very good, in fact. She says that, and now it's starting to get gloopy. It would do, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Put it like that, so as I say, it makes the thing, the butterfly, whatever it is, look more centred. And then, almost done with that one, I think. Yeah. I think that one's ready, isn't it? We don't need to do anything else with that, unless we wanted to go around the edge in frayed burlap. Shall we try that? There are a few little bits that would take it. Oh yeah. It's Distress Ink by Ranger, which is Tim Holtz, isn't it? Yeah, like I said, I was very lucky to get it for a good price on Vinted, and I got quite a few different colours: oranges, pinks, reds, blues, even greens and brown. Well, the frayed burlap was actually a recent addition to my tiny ink collection, but I do have quite a few in the general size ones, we'll call them, shall we? Right, so that actually I could do a bit round the back as well, just to make it match, couldn't I? I like things to be right. I like to go, you know, make sure I've done everything I can do to. So that's that. That's my little journaling card. And if I wanted to, and I will do that just to show you, I can get some ink. Not distress ink this time though. So this is quite a dark colour. Put it on here because that's going to be, I don't want to get it everywhere because I did that last time. And my spray bottles don't work anymore, but I do give it a good old, I've tried washing them out, I've tried everything, they don't work, that's it. So I dip it in there like that, and I just, where there's nothing there, you know, like there, do a few little, of course I'm getting it all over because this is just, like I say, I'm not very light fingered. No, I'm not. Yeah, that one's a bit too big, but anyway, we could do with another one here. There we are, that'll do. We don't want to go too mad, or else it'll be wet through and ruined. I'm going to leave it to dry. I want to use another one of my crazy animals, so I've got that one. Oh, that fits pretty well actually, doesn't it? Or I've got this one, which looks very similar to the one I've just done, so I think I will go with that one. Let's put the 7th of October 1938. Don't ask me where that come from because I've no idea. But so it just shows you can write it out if you want to. I could have written the whole thing out if I wanted to. So specimen number. I could put that there, couldn't I, or something similar. Along here I could write what it is. You tell me what it is and I'll write it, and I'm sure I don't know. I wonder if this one will fit here now, this specimen number. Oh yeah, I bet if I cut that down like this. Wow, I didn't cut it very straight to start with, did I? Look how wonky that is. Right, so we've got the specimen number there, number 61. We found, let's put, we found it in the Everglades. I'm going to put name rare fly. There you go, it's a rare fly. And then I'm going to use my cutter, my little, just to make a hole in the middle of these because I haven't got a cutter that's that wide. See, like that. And then, there we are. Not perfect, but it's okay. I'll stick my number 61 on. There we are. And then I want to do across here, I'm going to do a stamp, I think. Maybe that little classified one would be alright, do you think? I think I could maybe get away with that. Let's have a look. I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be alright. So I'm going to do it on there like that, and then I'm going to try it on there. Yeah, that looks okay. Yeah, that looks fine. So on there again, and I'm going to do it just sort of on this corner. There we go. Looks good. Yeah. Right, one last one, and we'll do it in let's do it in this blue. See if we can get it ATC size. So oh, it's the perfect length. Yep, the length is perfect, it's just the width we need to trim. So get me scissors and trim, and this is embossed card, so that's why I wanted to use it. I've had it for ages and never used it, so I thought I might like to. So we'll do another. I mean, you can see what it is, can't you? Now, do I glue that on there? No, I'm not going to. But I might use that to cut the hole with. Let's get it on the cutting board. I hope you're doing it on the side, Jane. Right, so on the cutting board, get my sharp knife. I'm going to go across there like that. Look how wonky I've gone. It's terrible. And then down here. So this is the bit I cut out of the other one. You could measure yourself a piece of card and cut round it. That would be a wise thing to do, wouldn't it? Or else you could measure your hole and cut it. You know, I'm far too impatient to do that, I'm afraid. I have to go in all guns blazing and do it like this. And then down there. There we go. And then that should pop out. Yeah, there we go. And then I can put some paper on the back. I printed out this. So I think we might use a bit of that for the background of this one. I think that'll look really good. Might cover the whole back of it with it actually, because you can't write on it while it's like that, can you? Yeah, let's do that. So I need to cut around it so it's just slightly smaller than the back. That way it'll be easier to glue on. So across here. And then down here. It's just a nice background, isn't it? It looks quite weathered, the paper does. Right, I'm losing all my bits now because I've... Alright, let's leave that on. I mustn't forget I've done that one. And then I'm going to glue that onto there. So let's glue the back. Nearly did it upside down then. As in, had the pretty pattern bit on the outside and the white bit on the inside. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Right, let's just, that should do it. Any extra bits I can just trim off that are peeping out where they shouldn't be. There's always one, isn't there? Always one. There we go. I think I actually put it on upside down, if you see what I mean. That this bit should have been at the bottom. I think that's the problem. Where's my dry wipe? I'm just going to wipe. That's got a bit of that silver on it. Look, it's got a silver dot on it. And I've stuck it all in the glue at the back. We'll get that off before it dries. Yes, good work. Right. I don't think we need the cutting mat anymore. So, shall we round the corners with my now dirty God, trust me, honestly. Trust me. Yeah, I do like the rounded corners. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a corner rounder. I am. There we go. And then I think I'm going to go one of these beautiful butterflies. So I've got that one, or I've got this one. Actually, I've even got a dragonfly. I could maybe even try a dragonfly. Oh, I actually think I like the dragonfly. Yeah, let's go with the dragonfly then. Yeah, let's glue that on. And then it's just finding the bits to go around the bottom. I'm going to actually tear some of this paper. If you tear it towards you, you get the rough edge to ink. You tear it away from you, it's just a rough edge. You can't, you know, it won't ink as well because it hasn't got as much white showing. So you tear it towards you, and then I'm going to go round it with my, I can't remember what this one's called, ground espresso. Go around it with that. So I age it a little bit. And then I'm going to put it just there like that, just because it's pretty. I want lots of bits on here. I've decided I'm going to have lots of bits on it. It's got a number and specimen found on it. Collected, that's too big. Field notes, we could have that. Anyway, it doesn't matter, we can have lots of different colours on this one, can't we? Ornithology, but of course you can't really have that for a dragonfly, can you? What else could we have on here? We've got the number, collection record down there, do you think? It doesn't have a date on it, does it? So I'm going to cut out this date. bit with that, up a bit with that. And then this can go just there, I think. Needs a white background with it, otherwise you won't see the actual word. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. Put that there, and we want some glue on the back of it. There we go. I just need to trim that. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got then. Thank you, my love. Thank you, lovely.
You're welcome.
So how many have we done? We've done that one where we stuck the picture, the paper behind the cutout piece, and we've done that on another bit as well. So we've got that one, that is the ATC one, and this is also an ATC one. Both done in the same style, but they're not, you know, this one's completely different because it's a bird and it's lighter colours, and that one's darker colours and it's a dragon. And then we have this one, which I love. Yeah, rare fly it says. That's right, Jay, it's a rare fly. Then we've got this one, which is similar to how you would do this one, well, and this one. I would cut the square out of there with my with my craft knife, and then you can either put some paper behind it or some, there's not a lot of point in putting cellophane behind it when you've got that going up there, is there? I'd put some pretty paper behind it, and then I don't know if I glue it closed or not, because then you can write all your notes and that down here and then tuck them back up. Yeah, and then we've got this one. I love this one. I think out of all of them, this is my favourite. And then we've got that one, which could go in a cookery thing, and this one you could do it that way on. So you could cut your bit out, put your piece of, you could even put a bit of linen behind it, couldn't you? Anything like that, anything thin and, you know, blandish colours. And then yeah, you could put all your things there. It doesn't matter what shape or size it is, doesn't seem to be any law, you know, not law, any rules to them. So I really like this one too, because I like these odd looking butterflies, are they? Yeah, so we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I showed you 3 different ways of doing it. You can just stick it on, you can put the paper on the back, you can use the cellophane, or again just stick the picture on. So I even showed you the tea bag one, which I just cut a circle punch and glued the tea bag on the back. You can see that I've got some numbers and that on there, and then I've cut a hole and put an eyelet through it. So yeah, lots of different ones, and I even found a really tiny one, Where was that? Where did I find the tiny one? Typically I've lost it now. I was going to show you that. Here we are. Look, you can get a little tiny one like that. And because I had 2 of those, that's where I got that natural history specimen thing from, because one of them had only printed, it hadn't printed the end of it off, so I retrieved that bit. And then on there you could put, I think probably the best thing to put on that one would be one of those tiny birds, which, remember, if you cut them out like I do, you have to draw the legs back on. You could just put it down there like that. Yeah, so there's, you can do little teeny tiny ones too, look. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration from it, and I hope you will join in the specimen card swap over in Junk Journal Fairies. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.